Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to another episode of What's New. It's your girl Eb on the line, Ebony Amorz. I also have Arizona Ron. And we have my homegirl, sister, aka friend, aka I'm dragging it, but my girl NeNe. What's up, NeNe?
Thank you, because I be needing that love sometimes. Thank you. What up, y'all? And I just love that my intro was a little longer than Ryan's because,
I don't need a long intro.
I'm gonna start doing your intro before Ryan's. How about that?
No, I like to go out with a bang. I like to go last, because Ryan been over here. He was trying to get on my nerves this week. I seen that he knows he was going to test my limits. I should have been all up on his statuses and stuff this week, but I'm a changed woman. I'm trying to be changed and not argue with him.
How y'all been, though? This has been an interesting couple weeks. How y'all weeks been, man? It's been back to work. It's been so much going on.
It's a lot. It's been
a lot going on.
It's a rainy day, it's been a kind of up and down, but a lot, so it's
absolutely
a long few days,
Yeah, it's been giving fall chill vibes for sure. And I don't know about y'all, but lately, I don't be wanting to be bothered with nobody, but lately, I've been booed up. I think it's the
Oh, you got a boo?
No.
You didn't say nothing to me about
I ain't say
we was on the phone for an hour.
I know. I don't have a boo. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like, I've been around somebody. I wouldn't call that nigga my boo, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that type of weather. It's the weather change for sure.
It's got to be. It's something in the weather, or it's these crystals I bought, because it's been a lot of people popping out on the blue on me, and I feel like it's a test from God to be like, to see if I'm still dumb.
And I fail every time.
Yeah.
No, but I be in control of my situations. That's what I like about myself. Like, I know what be going on. Like, I might take my dumb ass back over there, but understand that I got a plan behind it. Like, I know I got an exit strategy in my head for sure.
Not an exit strategy.
I always got an exit strategy. No matter what.
Always have. You always better have a plan B for your plan A, because you gotta have to make sure it's plan
Somebody told me, everywhere you go, if you go somewhere, if you go out with your friend or whatever, when you walk in that room, always look for an exit.
Like,
so I had that same type of mindset with.
You grew up with some gangbangers, didn't you? Because that's what gangbangers used to tell me. Because
my mom used to work on the Guardian truck, so she always just be.
Oh, that's just a corporate gangbanger. You know what I'm saying? She
yeah, like she always give me little tidbits. Like, but yeah, I always had it in my mind. Like, I'm trained to think that way. Is that bad? Is that toxic?
No.
It's just a plan B in case. It's like a plan B. It's not a,
You always need a plan B if your plan A don't work.
Exactly. So I got a little extra strategy over here. I got a little some stuff away. They said, that don't work out.
So that's your code for side niggas on side niggas on side niggas? Or
I wouldn't say side niggas. I feel like you got to be in a relationship to have a side nigga.
Well, you got to have a nigga on the side, on the left, on the right, north, south, east.
I have friends.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with having friends.
Yeah, that's just friends. Like, I got friends. Like, I have two type of guy friends. I got guy friends that's potentials, and I got guy friends that I've never done anything with and never will. Like, it's disgusting to think about. Like,
so it's like platonic.
Yeah, it's like my brother. I've never slept with a guy that I would call my brother. Like, I've never understood that.
Like,
I never understood that. No, real shit.
Because I was telling people, like, I got cussed out last week.
You always get cussed out, Jeremy.
This girl was like, because I was like, yeah, my homegirl birthday today. And she's like, see, that's your fucking problem. You always got a homegirl. And I was like, damn. Like,
ugh. That's a turn off. I don't like that because I feel like low key you trying to control.
But you know what? That's not the first time somebody told me that. It was like, niggas don't have homegirls. I'm like, yes, I do. I got a bunch of homegirls. Like,
well, that's because you said this too, Jeremy. Might I add, if you're friends with a girl, or like most guys got like they want something, like they want to fuck most of the time.
No, I'm talking about if a nigga pursue you, like take you out on a date. Like,
I'm saying, like, but y'all,
I'm take you out on a date,
right? I'm like, wait, I'm talking about. So you said your homegirl, like your homegirl birthday coming up, and girl was like, that's your problem. You always got a homegirl. But I'm saying, like, just because you have girlfriends, like you said before, like if you have like girls that are friends, like you potentially want to fuck, like most guys have a plan.
No. I said that most dudes that come at you, when most dudes don't come at you, when they pursue you, they want to fuck. Now, as far as platonic friendships, I know that's I think that's capable. A lot of people don't think it's capable. I think it's capable. I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, like in my head, I got guy friends too, and in my head, like it's like it just don't even go that way. Like I don't think about them in that manner. Like it's cringy to think about. And then there's guys that I call my friends that, you know what
I feel like you got two type of when you're an adult, you have two type of friends. Like you got people of the opposite sex that's cool, and like y'all both understand. I feel like it's three sets. You got people of the opposite sex that's cool, and y'all both understand. Like, look, we cool, we tight. It ain't never going past this. We cool. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this is my people. Then you got that one set of like relationships with like the opposite sex. Like you feel y'all both feeling each other, and y'all might want to attempt to see where it go. Then you got the other friends of the opposite sex where somebody ain't gonna like the other. One person gonna feel the other person a little bit more, and the other person gonna keep on trying to cross that boundary. Like I feel like those are three sets, but I think it's like capable of having people of the opposite sex and like friends of the opposite sex. And she cut into me. She like, you always was like, because what happened was I had hit her up, and I hadn't hit her up in a long time. I was on some fuckboy shit. And
wow.
I wouldn't even say it was on some fuckboy shit. It was kind of like on some like.
No, let's keep it there. Keep going.
No, it wasn't on fuckboy shit. He had commented like on one of my stories, and like I was like, you know what? Let me hit her up. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, that's your problem. You always here with a bitch, and you always here with this homegirl. I'm like, I can have friends of the opposite sex. Like we just cool, and she was like, that's too many homegirls for me. And I'm just like, damn, like. And then I was dating somebody, and she was like so hard pressed of like she couldn't accept that I had female friends, and I'm like, I met you through one of
my female friends.
Yeah, I met you through my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? So like, how are you tripping about this? Like,
yeah, I feel like I used to have that young bitch mentality too. Like, and I'm sorry, young bitch. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I feel like a thug.
You are.
But I used to have that young girl mentality too, where I used to feel like insecure when a man had too many girlfriends. And I mean that could be a thing. I think it's all about trusting your partner and like knowing like if your friend, you know, if he's just like a really cool person, sociable person, and he, you know,
like they just do it too though.
What you mean? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I've heard like dudes were like, man, my girl better not. The only friend she needs is me and this and that. Like
I've dated guys like that too. Yeah.
I feel like once you get into like a serious like dating relationship type of shit, I feel like everybody has this light bulb.
Your friends become their friends in a sense.
Yeah,
like, or it should.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has this, like I think it's a light bulb that go off in everybody's head. Like, okay.
Yeah, like that ain't it.
The opposite sex, but you know, I got a limit. Like, you know, you can't be calling me at 10 o'clock in the night, or
you know, like just as long as you have respect, boundaries.
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like once you like make it known that you fuck with somebody, like my homegirl, like I would like when she fuck with somebody, I don't never call her like at like 9:30, 10 o'clock or 10:30 on a Sunday because she might be laid up on her nigga.
Yeah,
this nigga said it on a Sunday. He said he put her nigga and
it
God.
had to be a Sunday.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I want niggas thinking like, oh, this that whole ass. Like, I want it like, cause I get it.
We watching Power and this nigga Jeremy calling.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like friends know them boundaries. Like, if you a nigga, you hit up a chick and you know she got a dude. Like, you should know your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, all right, she got a dude. I should hit her up at a more reasonable time. And same thing with women. Like,
absolutely.
I got home, like, my homegirl, she hit me up. She told me about her nigga problems and shit. But when I'm fucking with a girl and I'm like, let her know, because I tell her everything. I let her know it's serious. She be like, you know, she'll text me like, hey, you know, you busy, you with something, you know, I be like, no, I'm chilling. Or if I let her know, like, hey, I'm be like, you know, we just had that type of communication. But I mean, I think friends are needed of the opposite sex.
I do too.
Like, because I don't think I can understand women without having female friends.
Right, and I don't necessarily lead on my male friends for male advice. I talked to my brother before. No, because them niggas just I don't know, like they automatically gonna like think like, oh, they answer for everything because he just want to fuck.
Because 99% of the time it's true.
I mean,
but I'm saying like they don't really give any context behind it. Like sometimes, yeah, that may be the case, but sometimes it's deeper than that. And I feel like my personal male friends don't know how to go deeper.
I feel like
I did say I told y'all it's been a minute. I'm sorry.
I feel like if your people if they can't hold you accountable and give you like info and hold you accountable, then I feel like, yeah, you probably can't talk to them. Because you do have them people like, they be kind of just trying to play the friend role to fuck. So if you tell them about something, they're like, oh yeah, he trying to fuck. Kind of just trying to make themselves like appear a little different. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like make themselves like look a certain way. But like if you telling like, you talking to somebody and like you tell them a situation, and like they tell you the real and they holding you accountable at the same time, like them the ones like you should be able to like really like kick it with.
Yeah.
Cause I don't really want nobody to be telling me like, yeah, that bitch ain't wrong. That bitch wrong. No, tell me if I'm fucked. Like if I fucked up, let me know.
Yeah, no,
you need somebody who's gonna keep you need somebody around who's gonna keep it a buck. You need that. You need somebody who's gonna be telling like, look, dog, like,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, but you ain't gonna like it, nigga. It's you, right? Like it's me, nigga. It's you. You need that type of context from your friends. If I can't get you to be honest and blunt with me on even like from the smallest to the biggest things, then how we gonna really be friends if you're not gonna keep it a buck?
You a yes man. I don't need you around me.
Yeah, and then if you my homeboy and I'm asking you advice about like some dude shit, and you don't give me like full context, or sometimes you don't give me like the full scale of stuff, like you will hear me like this nigga spitting game or some shit, or he lying, you like, yeah, that nigga lying for sure. And you don't tell me, you gonna let me get set up like this? You gonna let me go out like this? I need you to be my homeboy and, you know, be like, nah, sis, I ain't gonna let you go out like this.
Real, though? Which, like, what set of friends? You think your female friends keep it more real with you, or your male friends keep it more real with you?
My female friends.
For me, my female friends, for sure. I'll call Brittany in a minute, like, bitch.
My female friends, for sure. Because if I say something that's coming off...
Hell yeah. Yes.
All the time.
Hell yeah. When I was in a relationship and I used to be just going through shit, or just, you know, some days you had just mad day. Like everything that nigga do just irritate you. Right. And especially when you've been with somebody for a minute. And I used to just like confide in my homegirls and they'd be like, girl, you doing the most. Like,
I feel like it's gotta be somebody that's reasonable, because I don't want to talk to somebody who like real bitter and jaded, because like you'll talk to your male homeboy and they'll be like real bitter and mad, right? Like at the moment, and like your view of like the opposite sex to be jaded because you know you take on the energy of, you know what I'm saying, like your man's like, damn, bro, like
he really hate all bitches.
But at the same time, it's times when you talk to the opposite sex and they'll be triggered off something that might sound like they went through and automatically they like, you wrong, you wrong. So like you gotta have that. I feel like certain people gotta have that balance on how you fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
I don't know
that principle of balance, because I always tell people like, look, I'm gonna give you the real, no matter what. No matter if you wrong, you wrong. Like I always tell them, like you wrong, you wrong, you wrong. But when they right, I'm definitely gonna. And I always like to give like when I do something, I always like to give a full story to give both people like the whole story. So I don't want nobody just to be agreeing with me to be agreeing with me. I want them like really know the whole story, because you know how you had it like his side, her side, the truth. No, I'm gonna give y'all both sides, and then you know what I'm saying, like how they feel of it, how I feel of it, and then you let me know like where it's coming from, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm giving you what you want to hear or leaving pieces out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm. I guess you sound like you got some sense today. I guess so. I guess I'll let that ride. I got some sense
every day. I live in a weird world. I just can't handle when I be talking that real, man.
Now we can't handle it. Can you handle it?
Streets can't handle talking that real. Y'all getting all these freaky songs.
I told you it's that time, bro.
It's getting close to it for real.
It's that time, bro. It's that time. It's that setting. It's that season.
And I'm telling you, all these things coming out the woodwork. I'm like, where did y'all come? My plan for the summer was to have a whole new roster. Where's all these old joints coming from?
Man, I feel that.
I can't even deal. I'm like,
retrograde. No. I know what they call it, retrograde.
Yeah, something. I don't know. It's something retro because these niggas coming from back in the day. Shit.
For sure. It seemed like they come all at once. Like, what the fuck, bro?
No, it's definitely retrograde season.
But
I don't like that. I don't want that. Keep that.
So y'all, this week we wanted to kind of get into a more we'll keep it light, but not of course it's a serious topic. So we wanted to talk about mental health and I guess the Black community, but just I guess overall mental health, why it's important, you know, real struggles that we go through. Let's just start back with friends since we were already on that topic. So how important is it to, like, what's the limitation between getting real therapy and talking to a friend? What should be the limitation? Because I feel like at a point in my life, like I knew like, all right, I can't even put this on my friends. Like this shit a little too heavy. Like I need to go and just, you know, kick my shit with a therapist. Like, have y'all ever experienced that? And if so, when did you know to like, all right, I'm gonna get a therapist?
For myself, I talked about it before. Like I currently am in therapy.
Me too.
I have been in and out of therapy for like the last 4 or 5 years. It was just things I had to deal with personally that some things I felt like my friends wouldn't understand or like sometimes the weight, like I talk about, like, I lost my dad, like when I was 20 years old, which was a lot for me.
Right.
And I lost my grandmother too, when I was like, 19, and I lost my dad when I was going on 21, but, that was a lot for me to handle. And I feel like I still dealt with the grieving part till this day, because I miss them so much. And I just know how my life is. And when I have hard moments, I know I will need them.
Right.
And like, I have like my best friend, she is, you know, she knows probably everything about me for sure, but she never has experienced personally, like a death of someone. Yeah. Like close, super close to her. Right. You know? So for me to have a feeling about it, for them passing, she won't be empathetic and understanding, but she wouldn't be sympathetic, or she wouldn't understand completely.
It's a difference, right?
Yeah, she hasn't experienced that yet. So that was something that, you know, I had to proceed or continue to go search out because I was like, I want to talk to somebody about this. I want to kind of like unpack some of these like grievances and then talk about some of the traumas I experienced of how I'll deal with people to this day. It was just a lot. So for me, it's like I'm glad to have friends I can call like you, Ebony, and my friend Paris to talk about certain things. But then it's also like really good to hear like a neutral standpoint.
Right.
When you tripping. Cause like, what about if I keep going back to the same dumbass nigga? I don't want y'all to be like, bitch, I'm tired of hearing you talking about this. I'm gonna be like, damn, I need to go to a therapist. I need to talk to somebody about it. I need to figure out why I keep acting like this. Cause now these hoes tiring me too. So it'd be like,
no, it does feel like that. Right. You start to feel that way after a while. Like after you've been it so much, you get tired of hearing yourself like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I don't even want to bring this shit up. And you kind of hesitate, even though your friends will probably still be supportive and, listen, you just kind of get in that space. But so when did you feel like, did you know the line though? Like, when did you know, like, all right, I'm going to just go get some help?
I think it was a lot of things. So I was, consistently for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been seeing a therapist. I went to see a therapist as soon as my grandmother passed away because I was really super close with her. And then when my dad did too, I went to go see someone and kind of talk it out. So I've been in therapy since I was like 19. Right. And I'm 30, going on 31 now. When it comes to like, I'll have anxiety moments. Like my dad, it's officially been like 10 years since my dad been gone. He passed away on September 19th. Of 2011. And when I think about every year when it's time for like Father's Day or his birthday, which is like September 9th, when it comes up, it just something triggers me and I get really sad because I know what I would be doing. Or like Halloween time. Like I know me and my dad be watching Halloween movies or watching wrestling or something, like something fun. That was just something we did consistently from being a baby to now.
Right.
And when it came to like feeling like this, because I don't have a lot of people who will understand or like completely like understand my process of how I'm thinking, because I also have really high anxiety. I was like, okay, when I start feeling like I have no one to talk to, when I start feeling like I am super alone or I'm feeling super sad, where I get emotional, start acting like a female for real and start crying about everything, I was like, oh my God, I need to go talk to a therapist because I need to I always say I need to kind of unpack things. And then I also need to kind of separate them to see what they mean. Like, why do I feel this way? Or what's the reason behind like me talking like this, speaking like this, or feeling like this? And it helps me kind of narrate myself through my own thoughts.
Right.
To kind of have a better understanding of who I am and how I feel. Because sometimes people will say, oh, I know how I feel because I feel this way. It'd be like, no, sometimes you can't. You be going through so much. Emotionally, you might feel sad, happy.
1 minute it's all over the place, right?
Crazy, whatever. And sometimes it's hard to kind of have a direct attention like men do when they be talking about something. They're just like super narrow focus to like kind of figure out your complete feelings on things. So when I start feeling like that, that's when I'll just hit that therapy line and say, hello, I need to make a session call, please. So what about you, Ryan? What about you? How do you navigate when you go through those type of moments? Have you ever been through therapy before?
Yeah, like probably like 2 years ago. Okay. Well, maybe a year ago. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess with me, like Black men, we have this stigma of like, or just men in general, we have this stigma of just like holding shit in. Mm-hmm. I felt like through, me and my dad didn't really have a relationship or nothing like that. My uncle's like the place of
your father.
My father.
Your father figure, your father, your parent.
My father figure, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, it's just certain things like as men, we don't speak on, we don't talk about, we just go through it. So that's how I kind of like lived like most of like my young adult life. Just like, going through shit and like it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna get through it, you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing through shit. But my uncle passed away 2 days for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, the day of my birthday.
Mm.
It was definitely like a downward spiral for like myself mentally because like, you know, my uncle, he got me into sports. He took me to like basketball games, wrestling events. We used to watch wrestling together. We used to watch basketball together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, you know, my father, he didn't have no kids, so he treated me and my sisters like his kids because, you know, he lived with us. So, you know, when I lost him on my birthday, it was kind of just like one of those things, like, a lot of things just started hitting me at once. I was kind of like at a crossroads, like, damn, where am I going with my career? As far as financially, you know, I just lost my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are starting to change in my life where I'm not really getting no meaning of what's going on. And then I was seriously dating somebody, and then I had a situation where I had a child on the way and lost a child through a miscarriage, and that was the second time I lost a child through miscarriage. So I just got to a point in my life where like I just had all these like factors like really like just fucking with me, and like you think like you can just be like, all right, I can internalize this and just keep moving on, but when you start seeing your behavior and your actions like affect people around you, it starts to wear on you. It starts to like down, and like then you start kind of like feeling ashamed to even like talk to people about how you feeling or even opening up about certain shit. So I just got to the point where like I would just let shit just sit and sit and sit and sit. And I never forget, I was just like this was like maybe like 2 weeks after the girl I was messing with, she lost her, we lost a child. And I never forget, like one day I just came home from work, house was empty. And like out of the blue, my mama called me and was like, I love you. And I just bust out crying. Like I broke out in tears. Like I got off the phone with her and I held it in, and I got off the phone with her and I just bust out in tears. Like everything I was feeling, I just let out. And I didn't know what the fuck I was feeling. Like damn, like where is this coming from?
Right.
So I ended up like talking to my friend about it. She was like, you know, you need to go see somebody. And I remember the dude I used to work with, he was a Muslim cat. He,
not a Muslim cat, but
he was a Muslim dude. And we used to work together. And he used to tell me about this thing called My OG. And I just hit him up on Instagram one day, like, you know, what was that you was talking about? He was like, yeah, it's called My OG. And one of them OGs was one of my old coworkers. I used to call her my work mom. Her husband. And me and him was like real cool. And like I didn't know he was a therapist. So like I was like going over his house, like just talking to him, kicking it with him. And like it was good for me to like get a perspective from an older man who felt everything that I felt going on in my life where it comes to like he's been experienced everything I experienced, whether it's dating, whether it's like, you know, where you're going with your career path, financial, just mentally, like just being happy. Like he experienced everything I experienced. And like, that's when I realized like, man, like Black man, we all go through those things and we hold that shit in so much. And that shit just was like a weight lifted off my shoulders because it was just like, damn it. So this shit is normal. to feel. And it is normal for a lot of us to hold this stuff in, but we just don't speak on it.
Right.
Mm.
And I think that kind of like made me better where like it helped me communicate more with my mom and my friends. And if I'm dating somebody, like I used to just kind of just like let shit ride, but like now I'm kind of more like I'll speak up like, nah, that's not okay.
Right.
And it helped me like internalize where I can't take everything as an attack.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times black men, you know, we feel like we get attacked a lot.
Right.
And sometimes you're not being attacked. Sometimes you're just being told about yourself. So, yeah, that was like going through that, like really helped me in my outlook and like how I view shit today. Because I don't think if I never went through that, I probably would like just have like a jaded opinion on a lot of shit. So, like,
no, I feel you for sure.
Like real big.
But that's I'm happy that you had that support, or I feel like it takes a lot anyways to be able to just identify like, all right, it's like it's okay to feel, because I feel like a lot of the times when you go through like a slight depression, like you feel guilty for feeling. At least for me as a Black woman, I always like hear my mama in the back of my head, like, stay strong. So anytime I cry or break down, I feel like I'm weak.
No, and that's not the case at all.
I feel like I'm weak in a sense. So I know better now, but just saying like I can only understand what it feels like for a man, you know, if I feel like that as a Black woman. So.
Yeah, you know what that kind of is though? That's like kind of like the psychological part of us growing up. The way that we grew up, you know, as Black people, period, we always had to be stronger, mentally strong, physically strong. I feel like that comes from, you know, just how we grew up as Black people. Like you look at your mothers, your fathers, whoever was around you, most showed you, you know, how to roll with the punches.
Right.
But they never showed you, once that door closed and you were in bed, how they reacted to when things stressed them out.
Man, yeah.
Made them feel. So when you have a generation before us who are the teachers, and they haven't been taught how to properly cope with their feelings or express their emotions, or, you know, navigate through life a little bit better, it passes down to us. Right. So how do we do it? But now we have additional resources to utilize to help us navigate through this crazy thing we call life. And you know, and I think more so too, we're a little more comfortable and confident, because you know, when I would start going to therapy, I would tell people I'm going to therapy. Black people don't do that shit. What you going to therapy for?
Right.
That's bitch, to not kill a bitch. That's why I'm going.
I will shoot our you know, our parents and our grandparents a little bill though. One thing that we don't take account, I feel like, as you know, the predecessors in the younger generation, they lived in a world where, you know, they didn't have the rights that we have, that we, you know, we take for granted. You know what I'm saying? So on top of, we deal with, you know, a lot of like outside shit with like racism and, you know, institutionalized racism, but, you know, they had to deal with it like up close,
bluntly,
you know what I'm saying? And like
overtly blunt.
You know, you at home and like you going through certain shit, and you kind of put a lot of that to the wayside, because, you know, you go out in this world and you, even though it's still like reign true today, we got social media to cover it, but back then you could go out and do something, you can make the wrong move, and that could cost you your life.
Right.
You know,
these days we'll say something to an officer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a great likely chance that you might go out.
Yeah.
But those people were scared to say anything in most cases, scared to say and move. Just like being told you can't go into like an all-white diner.
Yeah.
Or you can't drink out the water fountain. Or you got to sit at the back of the bus and not the front.
I feel like, you know, like our parents and our grandparents and their parents, you know, it's been passed down because I feel like I never forget this. My mom's uncle, he's still alive. He actually just turned 91 the other day. He was just talking to us. He was telling us like, yeah, you know, we couldn't focus on, you know, we had our protection at home, but we had so much shit that we was dealing with outside when we left the house that our only focus was making it alive and finding some way. Like we talk about how we gonna make it, or like how we gonna navigate through this life and how we try to, like, you know, be successful. Think about it like in the 50s and 60s and, you know, 40s, where, you know, it wasn't no affirmative action. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had to really make a way, and like you had to really like figure out how you was gonna, like, you know, protect your family, like as a man and a woman, protect your kids. And I feel like that was like their main focus. So like, you know, I don't think our parents grew up with the satisfaction of like, you know what, I'm not feeling this way, or I'm feeling this type of way. You know what, I want to get therapy, because they were just in survival mode all the time. And I feel like we've all been taught to just, okay, we need to survive. And now we've hit in this, you know, generation where we like, nah, we gotta do more than just survive. We gotta like really like protect ourselves. And I feel like, you know, our parents and our grandparents, our predecessors, they didn't get that opportunity. So like when they like kind of like speak down on like therapy and stuff like that, I used to get like real offended, like, damn, why you? But then when I think about it, I think about like what they were going through and what they had to, you know, experience. I think about it like, I won't be thinking about no therapy either if a motherfucker was sicking dogs on me, or I couldn't ride the bus a certain way.
You
like,
can't even trust these motherfuckers. Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And these are the people that you have to, you know, cohabitate in this world with. You gotta go out and live a functioning life with these people. So it's like, you kind of want to be like, you want to like look at them like, you know, why y'all being like this? But then you gotta think about, damn, look what they had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I put it in that perspective, when I got it put to that perspective, I was like, damn, I never thought about it like that.
Right.
Because they went through some shit. And I mean, we still going through some shit. You know, we still in 2021 still fighting for the equality and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is fucked up, but it's true.
It's true. And I feel like mental health is just like a tricky topic too, because it could be something deep or it could be something that's like surface level, but it's all important because it can get super deep. So what the fuck was the point that I was trying to make?
Okay,
the point I was trying to make was just for me, when I knew I needed to get help, like,
I was gonna ask you that. When did you know your line? When did Ebony say, okay, I needed somebody outside of my inner circle to assist me with these feelings, these thoughts, these emotions? What was your trigger?
Fuck it, you know, I'm living in my truth. So fuck it, I'll just, you know, this might help somebody. But I was molested when I was a child. Mm-hmm. So I tried to commit suicide when I was like 12, maybe 10, 11, 12. I don't know. So around that age. And that's because I did not know how to process it. I didn't know, like, it just felt heavy all the time. Like, it was never a way for me to stop thinking about it. And I had to continue to be around the same person. So that, like, I struggle with. And it wasn't like my mom knew what was going on, or, like, I just, was dealing with that on my own. And as a child, you don't know how to deal with that. And I was too scared to tell her, you know what I mean, what was going on. So I decided to make that type of decision. Thank God it did not work, but after that is when I decided to, well, I didn't decide. I was forced to go and get therapy. So I don't want to tell y'all too much, but basically, like, the doctor that was helping me out after I tried and failed basically told my mom, like, I think she should go to therapy or whatever. And yeah, it helped out a lot. And that's when I kind of felt like okay to talk to somebody. Like, so when I got older, I strayed away from therapy, of course. Like, at that time I was in therapy. When I got older, I strayed away. And I ended up going back 2020, I started going back to therapy again. And that was still the best decision I've ever made. Like,
I feel like 2020 made everybody should have went to therapy, because COVID really fucked me up too.
And this is when I knew, like, the Black Lives Matter shit, that shit was intense. And it was just one day I literally woke up on a new, it was just like in the beginning of the pandemic. It was like you were scared for your life. You didn't know what the fuck was going on. That's when we didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, we was just thinking we was gonna die, and we just heard everybody was dying. Like, we didn't know what was going on in the beginning of it. So that type of stress, on top of, like, turning the television on and I see another Black man has been killed and a mother on television crying, it literally hit me. And one day I lost it. Like, I was literally just crying my eyes out. I couldn't stop crying no matter what. All I could think about was just how afraid I am and just how sick the world is. Like, and that's what was like, okay, like, me and my friends all feel the same way. I couldn't talk to you and vent to you because now we just a pity party. You know what I'm saying? So who can I talk to that could, bring, like, help me to manage my emotions in this situation?
Yeah, like your process and thinking of how things are. Like, it was definitely nerve-wracking. Still is to this day, because I have, like, little cousins that I call my little brothers, right? And I feel like my mama and them, when they used to tell me about being out here in these streets, like, you be out here in these streets, you don't know what's gonna happen. You could be out here and get hurt. I be feeling like that about them. And I don't think about, like, people out here hurting them. I think about police hurting them. You know, because I tell them all the time, like, as Black men, you are not a necessity to some of these officers. You are a casualty. And how you move may be just the determining factor. One little small move that you made, decide to go left instead of right, can cost you your life. And I just want you to be careful. I be so passionate because like I say, like, y'all know, I'm like pro Black love and everything. And I think a lot of times when it comes to Black men, I think just sometimes men in general can be really fucked up. So I don't ever put it on just like, oh, these Black men, oh, child. I just think sometimes men or these males can be really fucked up. But I think it's a lot of men that weren't afforded the proper love from people in a way when it comes to relationships, because you can kind of see how a man, how he been loved in his life, even from his parents, even from, like, baby mamas, or anything like that, because of how they conversate with you, how they have a conversation with you, how their mindset is. It's like, I remember I was dating a guy and I would ask him every day, like, how are you doing mentally, physically, emotionally? He was like, one day he said, why you always ask me that? Like, instead of just like, how you doing? You always got to break it down. I said, because you might be feeling some type of way. Another way, like, you might be having a fucked up emotional day because, like, your homeboy just passed away. Or mentally, you might be having a fucked up day because you're still at this crappy ass job and you don't know what move to take or make to get yourself in a better space. Or physically, you might just be tired. Your body might just be hurting. Getting older, whatever. I just like to ask because I feel like a lot of people don't get asked how they are doing in all facets of the way. Or especially as Black men, I feel like is bypassed, especially with you guys, as far as a mental state, because as Black men, you're automatically considered to be strong ones, right? Mm-hmm. Like even back to, if you go back to slavery, like Black men were the money makers when they was selling y'all, or selling us. Let's be clear, because I'm Black too, but as Black men, you had to be healthy, hardy, and prepared to be sent to the next owner. And no one ever worried about how that made you feel, or never cared mentally how you were doing. So, triggering effect is, as generations and generations and generations of men, you are expected to be strong. Because, like, what's the one thing as boys you get told? Like, don't cry. That's what girls do, Yeah.
But I feel like girls get that too. My mom used to tell me all the time, stop crying. Like,
yeah. But like for us, I completely disagree with it. Like, I'm never gonna tell my child, like, don't cry, whatever. Now I'm telling, like, now you whining up here, you fussing, like, chill out with this. But if you feel some type of way emotionally and it's upsetting you really bad, I'm gonna allow you to express your feelings. But I think especially when it comes to men, they get told not to do that because that seems very feminine. And I feel like that's not the case. And they, as Black men, they have not always been fully supported in becoming in tune with their own emotions. So that's how come they get so suppressed. And I think that's why a lot of men, Black men in particular, have like emotional deficiencies. Yeah. Because it's really caused by them not being able to be emotional or even safe in every setting that they are in. I don't know why I can't talk to that, but I feel like a lot of times, they get bypassed. And that's like the sad thing to me, because, I feel like love needs to be given in every way, shape, or form. And I feel like if I have a man and he's going through something, I don't never want him to feel uncomfortable to do that in front of me. I want him to feel comfortable.
I definitely agree with that. Just to like piggyback on that, I think we need a healthy dose of masculinity, but at the same time, I think we also need to learn a certain type of empathy. The same way you feel like, how Black men, how we aren't afforded that luxury. I think, we need to be better for our women also. Because I had this conversation with a friend about a week ago. We need to do a better job of, protecting our women, showing them that, we aren't threats, and really like holding them down, because I do believe to a degree we haven't held down Black women like we should, and I think that's because there is a large majority of us that get it, and I feel like there's a large majority of us that don't get it, but the large majority that don't get it get highlighted. And I think as men, as Black men, we need to kind of like be more vocal on, protection of Black women, and, and more vocal of our community in general. You know what I'm saying? I think, and that goes to, being there for each other mentally and being for each other in any kind of way. Because I think that's a better us is a better, it makes for a better y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I think because you're not going to follow after somebody who don't have it all mentally. Like, that saying, the blind leading the blind, our women have had to become a little bit more stronger than they need to be because of the blind leading the blind mentality. And I think we have to do a better job of mentally, carrying and guiding our situations and our relationships with women and making it a safer space for women. You know what I'm saying? Because, I feel like we're a little bit more divided than ever. You know what I'm saying? I think that's got to come to an end. But it starts with us, and it starts with our mental, and being honest with ourselves. So
absolutely, it starts with us. Yeah. It starts with but I mean, one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like nothing. These are our traumas. Nothing's gonna just be healed overnight. And ideally, it may never get there, but you can do what you can within the people in your circle. You know what I'm saying? And pray for better one day. But mental health is a responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to know when it's too much. And prayerfully, you have good friends in your circle that could basically give you a heads up and let you know, like, hey, I think, you should get some additional help. Hopefully you do have those type of friends in your circle. If you don't, I pray, maybe you have those family members, or maybe you just have those skills yourself to be able to self-identify that is a need. Mental health is a need. It is important. You are not crazy. You are not crazy at all. Everybody goes through things. We all go through it. I don't care how cool a motherfucker seems. You never know what that motherfucker is going through behind closed doors. So don't ever feel like I'm too cool for therapy, or I'm too cool to ask for help, because we all need a helping hand at some point. Okay? So that's my word for today. We're going to wrap it up. It's been a great episode, y'all, and we'll definitely put in some mental health resources in the Buzzsprout description of the episode. So make sure you check those out if need be. But we love y'all as always. Thank you for tuning in to the livest motherfucking podcast crew you will ever meet. Over and out.